So you want to win money every single week from MMA betting. Don't we all? I'm going to tell you in this video how to have the best chance at doing that. Now, obviously, let's put a disclaimer out. You know, it doesn't really need to be said, but for some people, maybe it does. You ain't gonna win money every single week, right? Obviously, you're gonna go through losing weeks. Not only losing weeks, you're gonna go through losing months. Some people I know have gone through a 6-month cold streak, and they're some of the best gamblers I've ever seen in the planet. Like literally, the best gamblers I've ever known on the entire face of the planet have gone through a 6-month cold streak where they can't pick a winner. Basically, you know, they've won a few weeks out of 6 months. So it doesn't matter how good you are, you're gonna go through heavy losing weeks, but there is a good strategy that will at least stop those cold streaks, or not stop them, but reduce those cold streaks. And it will allow you to be in a better position to win most weeks from MMA betting. And that's something simple, right? That is what I like to call taking what the card gives you. So like I said, you know, I've said this in multiple videos, sports betting is a paradoxical thing, because while it is true that most people will be good at a specific market within MMA betting, like you might just be really good at betting underdogs, or you might be really good at betting a specific weight class and not good at betting favorites, or not good at betting another weight class. While that is true, you should always strive to become good at all weight classes or at all type of markets, right? So two things are true at the exact same time. Hence, it's paradoxical in nature. And while I am a big proponent on doubling down on what you're good at, you should do that. You also need to understand, in true paradoxical nature, the card is not always going to give you opportunities to bet on what you're good at, right? So let me break that down a little bit further. Like I said, if you're really good at betting favorites and really good at betting heavyweights, well then, you might get a card one week where there's no heavyweights on. So now what are you gonna do? You can't bet on heavyweights because there's no heavyweights fighting. Or maybe you get a card where there's only 2 heavyweight fights. So what, you're gonna only bet on those 2 fights? Well then you're gonna, like if you limit yourself to betting only what you're good at, then you're gonna force bets, because the card's not always gonna give you an opportunity to bet on those things. The card might not give you heavyweight fights to bet on. Or even if the card does give you heavyweight fights to bet on, maybe they don't give you good odds. Maybe the odds are accurate. So then you're gonna look to bet on those heavyweights just because you're apparently good at betting on heavyweights, but then you're gonna lose money because you're betting into an efficient market. Or at least those heavyweight fights are efficient. So you have to always take what the card gives you, and this is really the secret to earning profit week after week on MMA betting and reducing down streaks heavily. Take what the card gives you. Don't try to bet the same way every single week. This is more for an advanced bettor though, because like I keep on saying, there is a lot of nuance with this stuff. You know, some people would be better just sticking to something that they're good at for the most part. But for an experienced bettor, for someone who's been in the game for a long time, I believe that you should be adaptable and able to adapt to any situation, any card, any sports betting market, any odds range, etc., etc. So every single week, the UFC will release a card, right? And then the bookmakers will distribute betting lines among these fights. And sometimes you'll look at the betting lines and there's tons of underdogs that stand out. And so now, this week, we want to be betting 5 underdog shots. But literally, the very next week, they might put lines out and there's no underdogs you want to bet on. Maybe there's no good underdog shots, but there's 2 favorites that are minus 200 that should be minus 900. Well, then what do you want to do? You want to smash those minus 200 favorites. So you've gone from one week betting 5 underdogs to the next week betting no underdogs and betting massive favorites, but you believe they should be bigger favorites. Maybe the very next week after those 2 weeks, you get a mixture of both. You get a couple of good underdogs and a couple of good big favorites. Every single week is going to be different, so you should be malleable. You should be adaptable enough to change your style based on what the card gives you. This is what you need to be doing if you want optimal results. Not every single week the same bets will land. You know, it's funny because I see people in the community and they bet on violence every single week. Oh, I'm a violence guy. I'm an unders guy. I'm going to bet on unders every single week. But if you do that, there's going to be a week where most fights go to decision. You know, 8 out of 10 fights go to decision. And then the 2 fights that didn't go to decision, it was minus 400 to not go to decision, so you couldn't bet them anyway because there was no value on the line. Not every week the same bets will land. It's very important to understand this, right? And so not every week you can bet the same. So just make sure going forward, when you're betting on MMA, look at what the card gives you, look at the betting lines, and understand that you may have to change your style week to week if you want to optimize your results year on year. Don't fall into this trap of, I'm an underdog bettor, or I'm a favorite bettor, or I'm a parlayer only, or etc., etc., you know? And like I said, a disclaimer again for the people that didn't hear it the first 2 times, this is for experienced bettors. There's some people out there that are just going to be better off sticking to what they're good at week after week after week to maximize profits. But you should still be trying to get good at everything on the back end, because you never know when edges are going to change. Yes, you may be good at betting men's heavyweight right now, but are you going to be good in 2 years? Maybe the lines will become sharper on that specific market in 2 years. Yes, you're a good submission bettor right now, but are you going to be a good submission bettor in 2 years? Maybe the odds will change. Maybe the market will change. Maybe the market will get much sharper on submission bets. Maybe they're mispriced right now. Maybe that's why you're good at it, right? So if you're always becoming a good all-round gambler, you're going to be able to adapt as the edge changes. Not only just adapt week to week, like this whole video is saying, but also adapt to the actual market and when the edge changes in those markets. So that's really it for today, boys. Hopefully this video helps you moving forward, and good luck on your bets this weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.